Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Thank you once again for joining Empowerment Network. In case you are new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, click on the bell, come back as many times as you can because we discuss very beautiful opportunities here or one beautiful golden opportunity. Hello, Jeffrey. Oh, you may need to unmute yourself, my friend, so we can hear you.
Okay, we'll do it again. I feel like that Liberty commercial. But hello, everybody. Good to see you guys here. Always. Thank you.
Sure, always. Welcome, Collins.
Oh,
And Miss.
hello. Good to be here again.
Yes, sure, as usual. Hi, Handy.
Not to be outdone. Hi,
Yes. Yeah, before I forget, today is Fumi's birthday. So if you can, please go ahead. Let's keep on wishing her birthday. Big day for her today. Thank you. Happy birthday again, sis. So Jeffrey, like we were saying yesterday, we were on it. Chris came and Chris brought to us this sweet news from Ash. We started with that yesterday, and today we want to hear your own perspective. What do you want to say about that? The update of yesterday, and then we go from there.
First of all, I want to just urge folks to keep Chris in prayer. He took a fall. He's probably got some rib damage, and I know how that feels. So, but yeah, I think yesterday was evidence of small things, great things coming in small packages. If I can start and kind of just give a roundabout for about 3 minutes or so, then we'll bring us right up to speed and what I think on what's going on. Is that all right?
Yes, Jeffrey.
We can hear you well. We can hear you well, Jeffrey.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yes.
About a week and a half ago, Ash came on. He had an update, right, indicating that they'd started the migration process for OConnect. Almost a week ago, we saw the pop-up that regarded the new affiliate agreement that Andy was just talking about a little bit ago. If you haven't seen that, by the way, you might want to log into your back office. And let's not forget, we had an event where our CMO, Mohammed Nazal, actually participated in an event with T-Hub out of Hyderabad. That goes along with all the activity we've seen in 2023 with strategic partnerships. For those that don't know, that T-Hub is an innovation center. It's a business incubator that's based in Radurg, Hyderabad in India. It's the world's largest innovation campus and India's largest incubation center. And it connects startups and corporations, governments, academia, investors, a lot of people. It's very, very big, and it drives change forward. Now, Mr. Mufar also indicated that the ONPASSIVE ecosystem is complete. And by that, I'm assuming he's talking about the platform and its components, not the digital products, obviously, that are part of the SaaS business model that we're using on that platform. Key components of that platform are the my orders, subscriptions, favorites, invites, ticket status, contacts, links, lots of stuff like that, marketplace. So anybody that hasn't logged on or hasn't gotten access to go check it out, you should go check it out. It's pretty powerful stuff. Mr. Mufar was also talking about products that are coming, and we've been told pretty much what to expect and what we think is coming down the pike. He had gone into some of that a little bit, but over the last several weeks, we've heard of, OES, OConnect, OMail, ONet, OTracker, OTrim, OVerify, OWomen, OBless, OWallet, and a bunch of them. Now, I may have missed a few of them, but you get my point. We got a lot of things coming out. And this is to say that we've got a lot going on. And when we consider that the OES, the new rollout of the OConnect, its pricing, the new payment processing system, and all of these things that are tied into the new registrations for not only charter members, but the new members commercially, and that the entirety of our platform is something that spans across lots of different currencies, lots of different countries, multiple languages, not to mention the regulations, right? Regulatory hoops we got to jump through. There are a lot of moving parts. Now, yesterday, Mr. Mufari came on and said, hey, before I hit that though, on Monday, we knew that they were going to start looking at the rollout for the payment requests or the withdrawal for payments to be kind of rolled out. And yes, last night at midnight, that's when that actually started. I believe that based on what was said yesterday, that there were going to be 100 people in the first batch. And I believe, I like the idea that there's 100 people, those payments, because it's, as he has always said, it would be that we would start small and ramp up because we want to make sure this is done right. We don't want to see a bunch of glitches if we can possibly help it. But I think that also opens up the window for the completion. If you think about the number of requests, which was 37,000, and you say, okay, starting with 100, if you double that every day, it's going to take us 10 days to cross the 37,000 request threshold. So we may, I don't know, depends on what we see come of that, whether or not we have any, as Julie may say, wrinkles or snafus or glitches. We may see another extension. I don't know, we did see that on the 28th, we got a 10-day extension for expired O-Connect accounts. I saw they kicked in various dates for every one of the ones that I was able to monitor. Last night, those bulk payments processes did start to clear the request for those 100 people, meaning that the folks that are getting those, which we don't know who they are or how they're even being chose, but they're going to receive, if they haven't already received, those payments. So they also recommended that we'd check our emails just to make sure, check the founder email or the email that's associated with your O-Founder account, your alternate email for that account, the O-mails, anything that you can check it, because through the emails, you're going to be able to participate in the verification process by the merchant processor for those payments. So, he also indicated that in a day or two, we're going to be losing the crypto ability to pay, or the ability to pay through crypto. Now, the upside of that, as far as I'm concerned, is we may have lost the credit card payment, but if you still haven't subscribed and you want to, the crypto payment is still active for another day or so. By Monday, February 5th, the process is going to scale up. We're expecting probably tens of millions be expected to pay it out, right? And that includes some of the bonuses, I think, one of which may have been what you were talking about earlier, Andy. I don't know. That seemed like a big number to me. But that takes us into the next phase, because soon after that, we're going to be resuming operationally, at least, for payments. And when we do, it's going to be using the new processors. It's going to be using the new rate for the new O-Connect, and it's going to include new registrations for members commercially as well. So the entire evolution of this thing is being rolled out as a new commercial launch, according to Mr. Mufara. And immediately following all this activity, he's also going to let us know more about the launch of products that he's been talking about. So there are tons of things going on in the background, and I would certainly recommend some patience over the next couple of weeks. And voila, you have my kind of take on it.
Oh my God, Jeffrey. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you for doing that for us. Quite beautiful. And of course, I'll just let you guys, I don't know where to start from, because it's so perfect how Jeffrey has done it. But Collins, I don't know, I may be digressing a bit, but people have been talking a lot about this T-Hub, and Jeffrey also touched on it, and he gave some information that it's not only the largest, but the innovative and or the innovation and incubation center, the largest innovation and incubation center and stuff. Collins, when Jeffrey was saying this, you were nodding, so I thought that maybe you have an idea to what that is, the T-Hub and stuff. Can you add a bit of information to that? I think it concerns our business, or how does it concern us? Because everybody is kind of excited about it.
Yeah, that's really a good one, Comfort. Mr. Ashbar always told us about Innovation Lab, that ONPASSIVE will always go into that direction. And when you look at it, what is Innovation Lab? It's where brainstorming of new products are taking place. For instance, let's take, for instance, a simple company like Coca-Cola. They have Innovation Lab. what do? They brainstorm about the new product who can, they make a prototype of that product. So when they make a prototype or a sample of the product, they test it and they feel it. People come and they feel the sample, they test it, they say, wow, this is really good. Then they take it now for mass production, which the development team will start to work on it to build on the prototype. So let's look at where we are now. You know, like I remember I put something on the side, say where the best brains are. I remember ONPASSIVE follows, something like that. And I said, this is really good. You know, I look at what Jeff just mentioned about the T-Hub. You know, we look at the T-Hub. That is the largest innovation center, you know, based in Hyderabad, the biggest. It is, you know, something started with they talk about the governmental and all of those companies and schools, educational center, they are there. So look at all of these people coming in there. What are they going there to do? They are going to brainstorm, you know, about what? New technologies. For instance, it can be AI technology. It can be, you know, whatever you can think of when it comes to technology. The best minds are there to brainstorm. Now, look at ONPASSIVE being part of it. You know, though Ms. Ashford have not told us about it, we've seen the pictures coming out. But where ONPASSIVE is now, it means they are going now to tap into that best brain, because that is where the brainstorming will be taking place. If they want to come up with, for instance, you're talking about data scientists, what type of, how do you analyze data, big data, and all of those type of things, because it involves everything around technology. So companies also are coming there because they want that best brain. And ONPASSIVE is also there so that they can brainstorm about new technology. Just imagine if anything want to come out and ONPASSIVE come out with a prototype from that particular hub. That is massive. It is a very big thing, because it means technology will always continue evolve. Because remember, technology will always evolve, and you need people to brainstorm, to come up with new ideas, new formula on how to build things, you know. And that's where we are now. We are really in it.
All right. So before you go, Collins, this T-Hub, does it belong to ONPASSIVE, or is ONPASSIVE partnering with people to get to? I don't know. Just want to know.
It started long ago, built by, I read it, you know, more of the government in Hyderabad, I think local government put everything together. But it's a center where company can come in and brainstorm. So Ms. Ashbra will give us the details. So I don't want to dive into the details, but I know ONPASSIVE is there as well to tap into that rich resource within the T-Hub, because it's about innovation of new technology.
Okay, I think that's enough, and I really appreciate you and Jeffrey. Andy, was a powerful opening there from Jeffrey and a powerful contribution from Collins. I just leave it open for you. Whatever you have in mind, go for it, bro.
Well, I was going to say a few things, but I think it's all been covered. To be fair, no. One thing that caught my attention is the commercial release of OConnect. And what that's going to mean, because you know, we've been waiting for all of these additional add-ons. We've been waiting for the system to be absolutely perfect. We are and have been beta testers in effect, because you know, we're the beginning. This is where it starts, and now it's a case of, we've got this product, we know the product is far better than anything else on the marketplace, and now we can go and offer this to everybody. And in particular, obviously, OConnect is going to be aimed at companies that use a video conferencing platform. And let's face it, there are millions and millions of companies around the globe that have this or use this facility. But we're very shortly also going to find out, because there are going to be various price packaging opportunities. So we might have monthly, quarterly, half yearly, annually, and you can pay for this system. But you know, we know that our testing phase was $125 a month, and we got a discount when we started. But that was for 10,000 attendees. There's not many people that go up to that level. Obviously, we did with ONPASSIVE before. We had, you know, when we first tested OConnect, I think we got up to about 83,000. on the call, which was phenomenal. And we also know that it's going to be used by the UAE government for their events, be them gigs or seminars or what have you, so that other people around the globe can actually, understand what's going on. And that's, for me, that's rather exciting. So yeah, I'll add that tiny bit from everybody else's perspective.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks so much, Andy. What makes the beauty of everything here sometimes is the variety, because everybody comes from their various perspectives, but somehow we meet somewhere in the middle, and it looks really beautiful. Thank you, guys. So the topic for today said that staying plugged in is the way forward, because after all, it's all good news. Jeffrey, it's because many people are worried. Some are thinking that they're just out of the game now, out of the picture, because the middle of the night met them without having activated their accounts. What next? How much is the next package and stuff? However, my response would be stay plugged in. I don't know what we want to say about this, please.
Wow. Yeah. Stay plugged in. Plugged in. Well, let's start with the subscription. If you're worried about not having the right information, or you're worried because you didn't have the opportunity, or for whatever reason you have not subscribed, you're still in good shape. I mean, if you haven't subscribed by the time they release the crypto ability to subscribe, in other words, you've got another day or two. If you want to go crypto, the crypto is still active. You could subscribe. If you happen to miss the entire opportunity to subscribe, it's okay. I mean, you're a little behind the power curve, but that's fine. You're just going to miss the first wave of allocation and members coming in, and you'll catch the next one. It's as simple as that. And the next time we have a product come out, you can also subscribe to that one. You don't have to subscribe in any particular way. I mean, just because O Connect is going to be out first doesn't mean, I got to connect, or I've got to subscribe to O Connect before I do O Tracker, if O Tracker is second. No, you can bypass O Connect and just go with O Tracker if you want. All roads lead to Rome here. I mean, the bottom line is you can breathe easy, okay? You don't have to stress the load, because the intent here is not to leave anybody behind. Mr. Mufara made that abundantly clear when he said, we're going to be looking at date time stamp for the charter members accounts. We're going to be looking at people that subscribed, and we're also going to be looking at those that don't have anybody in their sales network yet. And that way we're grabbing some of everybody this first time around. And keep in mind that we're going to have things go bump in the night. Okay. Things are going to inevitably, it's not going to work first time out of the gate perfectly. That's not the nature of the beast. It just won't. So we're learning as we go forward. And I like what Andy said earlier. He said, realistically speaking, the charter members, everybody that are members now, are still beta testing. We're still doing things to help the company get a grip on what's going to happen as these things roll out. And one good thing to keep in mind is that we've got these products that I mentioned earlier that we're expecting to roll out. Now, none of them that I'm aware of have all the full features and functionality of the ones that are going to be rolled out commercially. So what I'm saying is the O-Mail that we're using in the back office has got a lot more bells and whistles that aren't active yet. O-Connect is the same way. And we've listened to Mr. Mufara the other week. He said, man alive, we got some AI components going to blow your minds when we roll this thing out that you guys don't even know about. And that's the way it is. He also said, keeping that in mind specifically about O-Connect, is O-Connect is going to be the standard for every product subsequently rolled out from the platform by ONPASSIVE. So if you're worried about, I don't have the right information, always go to your back office, always look at the updates, get it from there. Don't listen to somebody calling you on the phone or doing a comment on YouTube. That doesn't work, because you're inevitably going to get frustrated. Don't do that. Don't do that. Go to the back office and get the information from there, because that's telling you what's going on. And if you can listen to Mr. Mufara and you've got the patience to really listen to what he's saying, you might have to slow it down. Sometimes I will take that video and I'll slow it down to 0.75 so I can really hear what he's saying, because he's got an uncanny ability to get you a little bit. I don't know if he does it on purpose, but it's hard to follow him, where he'll get into a subject and then he'll change course, and 3 minutes later he comes back to that subject. And if you can catch all the points of that subject, he paints a very nice picture. So I call that reading between the lines. If you can do that, great. If not, just make sure that you're logging in and that you're taking care of things. I mean, make sure, above all things, make sure that your emails all work. Make sure you've got access. Make sure, in case your computer crashes, you've got a paper somewhere that's got your passwords and everything. But if you're worried about subscribing, don't worry about it. There's going to be another opportunity for you. Boy, that was a long way around my elbow, wasn't it?
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Jeffrey. So, Collins, I don't know if you want to add something to what Jeffrey has said, but there's something here too I would like to make a clarification to in addition. About KYC, Chris also mentioned from Ash that people would surely be signing KYC or going through KYC and stuff like that. Somebody was emphasizing, I don't know whether it was Chris or Peter Rogers yesterday, that the KYC is not ours, it's from a third party. Maybe you just throw more light on it if you can, Collins, and then any other contribution you have, please.
Yeah. If I come back to that, I just want to touch a little bit on what Jeffrey said, for the plugging in side, because I've got a lot of calls today, and it's good that Comfort you brought this topic. A lot of people rely for information from other founders. And if information goes, what happened is, sometimes information gets distorted. Like Jeffrey said, the best place to get your information, if you miss the corporate meeting or any meeting with Mr. Ash Mufara, the best place is to go to your old founders back office. A lot of founders have just forgotten about old founders. Because yesterday I told someone, where are you getting your information? Go to old founders. Said, really? Do we really have old founders? I thought we'd move away from old founders for 4 years. I said, oh my God. So this is the thing we are saying every day. We need to pay attention. We need to listen. We need to follow up, because it is our business. Nobody will build your business for you. Mr. Ashfara built a business for each and every one. We have to manage it ourselves. If we just rely on information because you trust somebody and you say, you know what, I'll just sleep, get up tomorrow, pick my phone and call someone to update me, then you are really killing yourself. You are really killing yourself. As Jeffrey said, please plug in, listen to it over and over again. Read the end. There's a lot of things you can do. Every time, like when Andy raised something, I went back and I read it. I opened, I say, yes, this is it, because I didn't read it properly. I look at it again. And this is how you learn, by looking at it, understand your own business. If all of us do that, there is no need to call anyone. You just know, if I don't have the information straight, I go to my back office, because I know the time difference sometimes affect us, but the information is always there in the back office. That's the good thing. So let's try to plug in. And then the KYC, as you said, that is the verification of the merchant. And Ash said it is there straight. He said the merchant will verify us. They will send an email for you to verify yourself. Because without that, you cannot catch out. So whilst our KYC is being ready, we don't know when, but this is the way they can verify, because they can't just open and give you money for that. And they will even say that they can hold the company for money laundering. There's a way the company will always find way to verify you, to make sure you are who you are. You said you are, before they can release funds. So I will just touch that part. Maybe Andy will come for it. Andy.
Definitely, that's where I was heading to, but then I knew that Andy would either add or subtract to whatever you say on when it comes to that.
I'll add and subtract.
Not only do that, Andy, if you have time to, you would like to maybe give us again really quick a reason why people should read through the terms and conditions agreement, and so you have to
right. There are lots of parts in that agreement that everyone need to understand. If they don't understand, they need to ask the question. Okay, there are several points in there that I read when I took a copy of it that has taken me a couple of days to work out. So there will be people that won't understand every word on there. And we're going to be kind of here to help. And if you need to speak to somebody, speak to a legal advisor is best, but obviously we'll help where we can if we can. But you have to have an agreement in place to be able to make sure that from a company perspective, the company's safe, and so are the affiliates. The affiliates to get paid, and the company so that you don't detract from what the company is trying to achieve. So anyone that violates the rules, basically, they lose, because the company is bigger than that, and they will just simply get rid of you. And under certain of the sections, if you really do violate the rules and regulations, then you could be sued. So you need to read them. You need to make sure that you're clear on every point. And if you're not, then ask the question. It's as simple as that. But the reason the merchant needs verification, as Collins pointed out, is the money laundering aspect. You cannot move money from one place to another or give it to people without there being some form of paper trail and proof of who you are and who it's being sent to. Okay, the Americans, in their infinite wisdom, brought out what they call the Patriot Act a few years ago, when George Bush Jr. was in power, and at the end of the day, that means that every movement of money has to show a source and where it's off to. Yeah, so, and you've got guys that are going to be withdrawing funds in different locations around the globe. So if their income, for instance, has been $500 and all of a sudden there's $7,000 coming in, you go, hold on a minute, where's that come from? So the merchant needs to make sure that they are they have the correct information to be able to release those funds, because it's them that are liable if they're making payments to people and don't have the correct information. Okay.
So Jeffrey, earlier on, Andy talked about the commercial release of OConnect. I've been wondering about this name, and I'm sure a few people too. We are already consuming OConnect. People are buying and using OConnect, and we think that that's already commercialization. However, the one that we're waiting for, the new release we're waiting for, is called the commercial release. So what is the difference, if you can, please, Jeffrey?
Absolutely. But before I do that, I want to backtrack a little bit, if I can, back to KYC. There's what really got my attention was when we said that KYC was going to be handled by a third party with ONPASSIVE, or ONPASSIVE is bringing in a third party. Now, Ash has said for a long time, and we've seen the result of his saying, ONPASSIVE does not want a third party having any business within ONPASSIVE. But he also knows that there are times when third-party affiliations and activities are actually in our best interest. Now, I'm saying this because that happens to be a case, in my opinion, with KYC, because it's good for ONPASSIVE to be in a position that is above reproach. So when we have somebody else that's handling the KYC verification for all of these accounts and all of these things, that means that ONPASSIVE cannot be seen as having their fingers in the till, so to speak. So we don't have anything. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say what you've got to bear in mind, or what I didn't fail to mention, is this is simply for the payouts now. Obviously, the merchant has to verify this system now, but you're right. We're going to bring it in house when O-Verify gets released. That will be the trigger. We will then deal with all of the verification for every single person, and then simply pass that information to the merchant when required. But yeah, it's purely for the merchant on these payment systems, because O-Verify hasn't been released yet.
And the point being that this is a good move for us, simply because of where we are and what we're doing. and not to mention it relieves or it absolves us from some of the accountability issues that may otherwise ensue. So that's, if you're wondering why we're doing that, that's why. But now you were talking about the commercial release of O Connect. The commercial release is going to have the buttons and everything that, you know, Ash was talking about, all the AI components that we haven't yet seen in the version we've been using. We're talking the virtual background. They're talking about the ability to change the graphic backgrounds, not only in the background of the O Connect itself, but in videos that are within O Connect, and all of the other things we have going on within O Connect, like the text to speech and the avatars, and just, I mean, there are so many things going on with AI and machine learning and the innovations that come with all the automation of O Connect, that this is going to be much more robust. The features and functionalities in O Connect, you're going to immediately see the difference when the new one comes out, because it's got everything in it that we've been told it's going to have in it. And it's just going to, that's why, in my opinion, it's going to become the premier web conferencing platform on the planet. But we just got to get it right and get it out. But that's the big difference. You're going to see all the AI come to life in it, and all of the other features and functionalities, and some of which we haven't even seen yet. So
thank you, Jeffrey. So Collins, we're taking a last round now. Whatever you have in mind, you empty it.
Yeah, so Jeffrey just touched about, you know, the commercial launch and, you know, the new product. One of the things we need to bear in mind that ONPASSIVE will continue to develop and improve on O Connect. Remember the first version of O Connect, when they launched the first version, what do we see? It was like a little bit, and then it gets better and better and better. And now what happened? They said this release is gone. Now we're moving to the next phase of the second release of O Connect. So just think about this, the next phase, the second release. What will happen to the third release, the fourth release, the fifth release? That is how they build technology. They build technology, they don't stop. You continue add features and features and features and make it better, because you need to be on top of the game and be ahead of the market. You know, there are people, I know there was time, I don't know, someone called me, I was in a meeting, then I shut down my camera and everything. Just like I said, I want you to see Google Hangout. When he looked at Google and said, what, is this really Google Hangout? I said, yes. He said, what is that? I said, this is video conferencing platform. I said, you have Google Hangout, you have Microsoft, Cisco WebEx, and all. So this is part. Think about ONPASSIVE, what we've just seen. He said, ONPASSIVE is better than this. Said, there you go. There you go. And there are a lot of things, when you look at it, you know, this is a video conferencing platform for businesses, and we need to own it. So, and it is really far more. We're talking about the first release, better than what I have seen so far. And then think about what the second release will be, and the third release, the fourth release, and always make it better. So the last thing I want to say is just about, you know, the verification. I know we touched about it, but just want to make founders to understand this. We will be what? Like Andy said, we're having everything in-house. Remember, we're talking about ONPASSIVE owning. One of the pillars is about owning a payment processor. When we own a payment processor, we are a merchant when it comes to that. And a merchant needs verification. That is when O-Verify will kick in, because we verify you before we process everything, because everything is covered in-house. It means you own the whole system, the entire ecosystem. So people shouldn't worry, as Jeffrey said and Andy have said, when third party, because we're using them for now, but when our own we kick in with our O-Verify, Mr. Ashbufara, the intention is to bring everything in-house. So we have total control, total security of everything. We know what is happening. The last thing is, please plug in, because every second you missed, you honestly, you lost a lot of information. This is not the time for you to say, no, I want to wait. There is no time left, because ONPASSIVE is moving at the speed of light. You just need to get ahead of your game and try to make sure, because honestly, your understanding, your success in ONPASSIVE will depend on your understanding, and nobody can teach you this. It's only when you plug in and you read it, you ask questions, as Andy said, you get an understanding of it and the whole of it, then you say, wow, this is it. That is the only thing you can do. All of us, we are learning every day. And the only advice we can give is for everybody to learn, to be on top of the game. Spend at least 15 minutes, because you have 24 hours a day. So if you spend only 15 minutes from passive, it is great. You don't need to spend all the day. Just 15 minutes is enough. So I'll leave it there. Thank you, Comfort.
Yeah, thanks so much. So, Andy, your last word, please.
Well, I'm pleased as punch today because Collins and Jeffrey are covering most of what I wanted to cover. But I think the key phrase for me is baby steps. Just take a baby step every day. Learn something new every day. I know I harp on about this, but this is your business. This is the last business you will ever need. And if you do it correctly by taking that baby step every day, you cannot fail to achieve the goal that you set yourself. What's the key phrase? Comfort. Come on. Proper prior.
Hold on. Proper prior planning prevents poor performance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And on that note, thank you, Comfort.
Yeah, thanks. So, Jeffrey, you now have the honor to wrap it all up for us. Thank you.
And an honor it is. Man, you guys are awesome. I really, really do enjoy this platform quite a bit. I do want to back up just a sense, though. Collins, you brought up some excellent points, and you talked about versions 2, 3, 4, 5 ad infinitum, right? Talked about how great that was going to be. For our viewers, think of this. You hear Mr. Mufara talk about scalability, right? And then stabilization. That's exactly what Collins is talking about. He's talking about scaling it up, adding to it, then we release it, it stabilizes, and we do it again, and we do it again. And Mr. Mufara said, we are never going to stop doing that. That is who we are. That is what we are. And we're always going to be improving, always going to be adding, always going to be developing, and always going to be doing more and getting bigger and better and faster and stronger. Now, one of the things that I really want to get across is that we are at a precipice here, and we're just about ready to go on a downhill slide with getting all this stuff that Mr. Mufara has been telling us about over the next 2 weeks, right? But there are so many things going on in the background that is just absolutely crazy to try to understand that, or to believe rather, that all this is going to go out without a hitch. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to have a few snags here and there, as we always do. Now, I have no problem with that at all, because I know that Mr. Mufara has come through these last 5 years with such monumental resolve that there's just no stopping what is going on. But I do ask that we would be patient, because this entire process, if you've ever looked at testing payment gateways, there are so many things to do with all the data and all of the credits and all of the checks and how things looked at. And I mean, just Google payment gateway testing, Google it, and you're going to see a list as long as your arm of things that have to go on in the background. And this is just the payment portion. This isn't even the stuff going on in the background with OConnect or the OES or anything else of the 100 things we're doing. So just breathe easy. Know that you're in a good spot. Know that you're in a good spot. And like these other guys say, stay engaged. And engaged doesn't mean you got to do something every day and get in there and, you got to stress the load. Like Colin said, 15 minutes. Ash said this 3 or 4 years ago. Do the work now so you don't have to do it later. And one of the things I've always clung to is, when this thing is said and done and we are rolling down Easy Street, I'm going to spend about 15 minutes a day logging in, moving my money around, logging back out, and going sitting on the beach with my bride. So life is going to be good for us, okay? But it is a process. It is a journey. Enjoy it while we're here on the way to where we're going. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. And we don't need to overemphasize anything. We just say, stay plugged in, ask a few questions after reading. Like we said yesterday, Jeffrey is repeating some few stuff we said yesterday. As if he was here, Jeffrey, we said, we're happy to come out here and do this every day like you do, like Andy and Red and all of the rest of the team. However, if you think that you're not happy with what you're getting from us, the right place to go is the OES. The back office. So whether you listen to us or not, you have to read from the back office, especially if you miss the live one with Ash. And even if you listen to that, come back and read again. If you are stuck at that level and need help, anybody will be happy to help. But if you stay there and wait for me to finish listening to a webinar and you ask me when are they paying, or I hear they have started paying, the response might not be very friendly. Sometimes we can really be unfriendly sometimes. Sorry. Thank you. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Love you all and see you again soon. We have another great day again tomorrow. So let's all be ready. Thank you.